Hello, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. Just thought I'd go live a little bit earlier because I saw there were a bunch of folks already in the chat. So I said, why not? Let's go live. And I'll tell you my situation. I am without power. I have been without power since 11 a.m. due to this dumb storm. So I'm working off of a generator right now. And but it's not going to stop me. And it's not going to stop Lenny. We're going forward here. So it might be a shorter show than usual, but that's fine. And I got some nice stories for you this evening. Nice stories out of Delaware. And hold on, where am I? Why am I not on camera? I should be on camera. There we go. I got some nice stories from Delaware, the state of Delaware. And I also have a treat. If you guys hang around after I'm done with my stories, we're gonna look at and talk about a paranormal video that Mike F sent me, and I think you guys will find it very interesting. So stick around after the stories. They're not long stories; they're short stories today. So I got four little ones from the state of Delaware, and then we'll show that video from Mike F's Ring door cam, which is kind of intriguing when you see it. I think you'll find it interesting. But before we get started, let me say hello to everybody. Hello, Spirit. Thank you for joining. Cranky is here. Emmanuel Spataro is here. Dave T from Boston is here. Doom, my brother, is here. He's up late, but he's here. Maybe I can keep him awake. We'll see. Adam, how are you, my friend? Sorry to hear about Brian. Hopefully he's feeling better soon. Bill C is new to the chat. Thank you, Bill C, for being here. Appreciate it. I've seen you in Thendu's. I think I've seen you in Thendu's chat as well as Tommy's chat. So thank you for trying me out. Who else is here? Anybody else that I missed? Spirit, I said hello to Spirit. Stiggs is here. Deborah Roberts was here very early. Wow, she came here at 10 to 6 just to say hi. I guess that means she just wanted to say hi. She probably couldn't make the show, so she came to say hi early on. But it's almost 9 o'clock now. It's getting close. But I saw a bunch of people in the chat, so I said, let me get started early. All right, let me start with our intro, our traditional intro, and then we'll get into our stories. All right, here we go. All right. How are we doing this evening? Welcome to the library. Let me say hello to Patrick Ortega, who has joined us since the last time I was chapping. And I was yapping away over here. Latin Butterfly is here. Good to see you. NJ Wise Guy. Good to see you. Did I miss anybody else? I hope I did not. I don't want to. I want to make sure I say hello to everybody. Sliminy Cricket in the house. What's happening, my friend? Gerard. How are you, Gerard S? Good to see you. All right. So let's get started here. Let's do our usual lighting of the candles. I mean, I don't understand why I have no power. The storm wasn't that bad over here. But I haven't had power since 11 a.m. Still a lot of rain. There we go. We are ready to get started. All right. All right, so let's talk about the ghosts of Delaware. As you can see, Lenny doesn't really have a Delaware theme thing tonight. He usually has a theme to wear, some type of clothing. So he's wearing his Knights of Columbus hat. Why not? Right, Lenny? No clothing today for him. Last week was the night. I think that was cool. The night outfit was cool. All right, so let's talk about ghosts from Delaware. Now, the first of these 4 stories I have to tell you about. Hello, Shannon. Good to see you. Saw that you came in. All right, the first one is about Cape Henlopen State Park. Now, in Delaware, there's a cape. Most of these shore states have a cape, right? Cape May in New Jersey, Cape Cod in Massachusetts. Delaware has its own cape, and it's called Henlopen. There you go. And on this cape, there are these towers, and they are military towers that were built during the war. And it's said that these towers are haunted. Now, I'm going to show you a picture of what these towers look like along the coast, on the Cape, the beaches of the Cape. There's a few of them, but let me show you what they look like so you get a good understanding of what I'm talking about here. As you can see, they're all brick. They're like bunkers, and on the top there's the lookout post, and you can, they were meant as military kind of defenses. And it is said that there is a ghost soldier that guards these towers. So, let me go back to where I am here. So, these ghost towers, there's only one tower, I believe, that's actually haunted. And there's not much of a story that I could find around who the ghost is or whose ghost it is. Nothing like that. The only thing I could find were accounts of people who were on the beach at night, usually young people on the beach looking to have a fire, that type of stuff, nightly activities, drinking, having fun, that they have encountered the ghost of a soldier on this, specifically on one of those towers, tower number 12, it's called. So, and here's what they've seen. They have seen that if you get too close to the tower at night, away in the dunes are not in the picture I showed you, but there are dunes not too far off from the tower. In the dunes, you will hear growling noise. And some have even said they've heard yelling, "Who goes there?" Much like a guard on sentry duty would say, "Who goes there? Who goes there?" and they look and there's nothing, absolutely nothing there. And some people have said, and I couldn't find a picture of this online anywhere, but many people actually have said that they've taken pictures there. They're going on vacation, they take a picture, they want to get near the tower, they take a picture, and the face of the ghost soldier will appear in the background when they take the picture. So it's kind of interesting. I mean, the ghost soldier can't be that old because these towers are not that old. These towers, I think, were World War One type of buildings, that era, the early 1900s. So I don't know. I don't know about this one. Not much, like I said, not much of a story to it itself. Just that if you go there, you could hear this who goes there? The cry of a century. Who goes there? Of the ghost soldier making his rounds on these towers, probably looking for German submarines. That's probably what it was for during World War One, making sure German submarines were not coming ashore. So it was a big fear of that during World War One. Yeah, so that's about it for that one. It's a pretty short story. There's not much story to it, but I just thought I'd point it out because I thought it was intriguing how you can go on vacation and possibly encounter a ghost while you're walking on the beach. That's number one. So that's the ghost soldier of Cape Henlopen State Park. It's now a state park, this whole area here. So there's a lot of activity going on there. People vacationing and such. Hello, Osada Treats. Good to see you. Gerard, good to see you, my friend. Arlene Marlino, thank you for joining. All right, so that was number one. Let's go on to number two. Now, number two takes place in a place called Chooch Bridge. And it's located over the Christina River in Delaware. Now, this has a lot of historical significance because there was a major battle between the British and the Patriots during the American Revolutionary War that took place on this bridge and on the cornfields around it. So it's said that this bridge, because of all that activity that happened, fierce fighting, that it is haunted by the spirits of ghosts of the Revolutionary period. Now I'm going to show you a couple pictures of. I think I have at least one picture here of Chooch Bridge. Let me see. All right, here we go. Chooch Bridge. All right, here we go. Well, let's get rid of that. We don't need that one anymore. That's not Chooch Bridge. All right. That's Maggie's Bridge. All right, we're getting there. We are getting there. All right. Actually, this is just a reenactment of the Revolutionary War battle that took place in this location. This field is to the side of the bridge where we see the activity happening. So that was that. Let me show you the bridge, though. It's important to see the bridge. All right. Hold on. Having some difficulty here. All right. Now, it's a little hard to see in the distance here, but this is Chooch Bridge. This is the Christina River, and Chooch Bridge is in the distance here. And it said that the battle took place on the left side of the picture in that field beyond the trees, and that the Americans had to retreat across this bridge, and that both Americans and British died, during this battle. And it took place in 1777, September 3rd, 1777. And here's the interesting story about this. All right, let me get out of here. Why am I not in the, there we go. Lenny, you're in my way here. There we go. So here's the interesting story about this. During the battle, during that September 3rd battle, at one point, there was a British soldier or officer, probably an officer because he was on horseback, who put a sheet on and decided to a white sheet and decided to run around or gallop around in an attempt to scare and frighten the Patriots. And the Patriots were shooting at it, and because they were shooting at this figure they saw, on horseback, and because of that, it looked like a headless figure. So, in other words, the British officer had something on his head, so to speak, and a sheet coming down. So it appeared that there was no head on it. So it looked like a headless horseman type of character riding along the banks and trying to frighten them. And what really frightened them is that they would take shots at it. The Americans would take shots with their muskets at this figure, and it wouldn't do anything. It would bounce off, or it would go through it, and it would continue to go through. And what it turns out is the British officer had metal armor on underneath it, so he couldn't get hit by the bullets. The bullets would bounce off, and this became evident until an American sniper, took a shot at the top and got him in the head, in his actual head. It was the top of the sheet, hit him in the head. He went tumbling off and died in the river. Now, people believe that British officer's ghost is haunting. Now, there's two stories. That's the one story, that British officer's ghost is haunting this region, this particular area. And in fact, some people believe that when he went off the bridge, he lost his head in the process. He lost his actual head because he got shot by the bullet, and he went off the bridge. He probably lost his head. That's the theory. And the spirit comes back to look for his head, much like our famous headless horseman in Sleepy Hollow. Now, the story goes that it's only on moonlit nights, that a headless British officer wanders about the road on both sides and the bridge, searching for his lost head. And many people have claimed to have encountered this spirit, and that this spirit will be moaning and in agony, making sounds of agony, as if being separated from its head has made it a torture for itself. Now, that's one theory. The other theory is that the ghost that's haunting this is actually an American. It's actually a spirit of an American by the name of Charlie Miller, who was documented during this battle to have gotten his head shot off by a cannon. A lot of heads getting lost in this process. It was British cannons, and it had to be an American at that point, because the Americans did not have any cannons in this battle. It was only the British that had light cannons. So supposedly this Charlie Miller lost his head, hit by a cannonball, and he is just aimlessly looking for his head at night. So regardless of whether it's the British man, the British soldier, the British officer, or whether it's Charlie Miller, the patriot, somebody is there, or maybe it's both of them. Maybe somebody's there looking for their heads, because the spirit that materializes doesn't have a head and seems to be wandering around and moaning and crying for help in its search. Hello, Tony the Night Owl. Good to see you. Gianni, good to see you, my friend. Paul C, excellent. M. Pow in the house. Great to see you guys. Thank you so much. I don't know if I missed anybody. A lot of people coming in. I started a little earlier today, guys, simply because I saw there were a bunch of folks in the chat. And if you didn't hear me before, I don't have power, so I'm going on a generator. So I'm just wanted to get started while things are still functioning here. So that's Chooch. That's the ghost soldier of Chooch Bridge. So only on moonlit nights you possibly can see one of two ghosts, or both ghosts for all that matter. The spirits of these soldiers that lost their lives and their heads in this fateful battle on September 3rd, 1776. All right. That's number two. So number one was the ghost soldier of Cape Henlopen. Now we have the ghost soldier of Chooch Bridge. Now we'll go on to another bridge. Now we're staying with the bridge theme, because Delaware seems to have a lot of bridges, I don't know, that are haunted. The next one is Old Maggie's Bridge. So let me get this out of here. Stop sharing that. Let me see something here. Oh wait, maybe I want to show you something before I go on to the next story. Let me just show you. I think I have another picture of a closer up picture of the bridge in here somewhere. Here it is. This is a closer picture of it, just so you get a good look at it. This is Chooch Bridge. So you could see that if he was shot and fell off, it's a pretty far fall. If he was on horseback and he was shot off of his horse and he fell off of this bridge, it would be a pretty far fall into the rocks and stream below, river below, the Christina River. All right. Now let's go on to Maggie's Bridge. Now, Old Maggie's Bridge is what it's called. And Old Maggie's Bridge is located on Route 78 in Seaford, Delaware. And this is what it looks like. Come on, let's do this. Old Maggie's Bridge. Here we go. Old Maggie's Bridge. Now, this shot is in the distance. I couldn't get an up close, really close picture of the bridge itself. It's not much of a bridge. It's more of a road, although a stream goes under it. So it technically is a bridge. But you can see it in the distance there. This is the stream that winds under the bridge, and they call this Old Maggie's Bridge. And then the story behind this is that it's haunted by Maggie Boxham's ghost. Now, let's talk about Maggie Boxham for a second here. So Maggie Boxham, this was in the late 1800s. Maggie Boxham was a young woman pregnant at the time who was traveling to see her husband. They had been separated for a while because of business. He had left for a business trip, and she was on a carriage, and it was during the winter of some year in the late 1800s. And the carriage was taking her across this particular bridge at the time when, in the course of it, was an ice storm. And unfortunately, the bridge was iced over at the time. The driver of the carriage didn't realize this until the last minute, was crossing the bridge when he lost control, and the carriage turned over, throwing Maggie from the carriage. The horse team took off, and she flew off the side of the bridge into the ice below and perished, unfortunately. And it's said that her spirit haunts this region. And there's a legend that goes along with this as well. Now, before I tell you the legend, things that people have seen on the bridge, they've seen orbs floating about here and there on the bridge in the darker part of the day, the dusk part of the day. They hear sobbing in the air, disembodied sobbing in the air around this region. And then this is the legend that a lot of kids particularly do. And if you have the guts, you might want to do it if you're ever there and see what happens. But if you were to go to the side of the bridge, lean over the side of the bridge, and hold on a second here. I have a picture of the area you're supposed to do this in. I see where this guy is standing over here. You're supposed to lean over the side of the bridge here. And you're supposed to call out, Maggie, Maggie, I have your baby. And people have sworn that what would happen when you do that is the next thing you'll hear is rustling in the bushes around the bridge off to the side. And sobbing and crying. And the noise that you hear is the ghost of Maggie materializing, looking for her baby. I mean, it's a sad legend and a sad ghost story. She was pregnant, very pregnant with and loses the baby. You know, they both perish. So she, in the afterlife, is looking for her lost child. And so many people, particularly kids, go to the side of this bridge and call out and see what happens late at night and see if Maggie manifests herself and appears. But it's a kind of cruel joke to play on the ghost, if you ask me, because you don't have her baby. So, but sobbing and crying they hear, and some even see her materialize. You know, in her long gown, long late 19th century gown with a hood on, dressed for winter because it was winter when the accident happened, and see her manifest along the bridge. So it's a sad story. The story of Maggie Bloxam, and they call it Old Maggie's Bridge because of her legend and because of the sightings of her on that bridge. It's actually Woodland Church Road off of Route 78 in Seaford, Delaware. If you ever want to go there and check it out and try out the whole calling out of Maggie, which to me, I don't think I'd ever do, but that's too creepy for me to do that. All right. Now, let's go on to the last story. The last story in the title story that I put on the thumbnail, The Catman of Long Cemetery. All right. Just chilling from the West Coast. Good to see you. Excellent. All right. Stony Tony in the house. Good to see you. Awesome. Bunch of people here tonight. So thankful to have you with me. All right. Last story, The Catman of Long Cemetery in Frankfort, Delaware. Now, this cemetery was called Long Cemetery because the individual that founded the cemetery was Colonel Long. He was a colonel in the War of 1812. And a lot of veterans of the War of 1812 are buried in this cemetery. So it's a very old cemetery. And it's said to be haunted by what people have become to call the Catman. Now, the story behind the Catman is that the Catman was actually a caretaker of this very cemetery in the early 1900s. And this unfortunate fellow had cat-like features and used to be teased and called a cat, by teenagers and kids. They would go by the cemetery and call out to him and call him names like pussy cat names, pussycat and such. And this poor individual hated this with a passion and would chase them away and chase after them. And it's because of this that he also hated cats. And anytime he saw a cat, he would go after it and kill it. And, it's sort of like taking out his rage for the way he looks. So it was a kind of an unrestful soul in life because of his misfortune, of his appearance. But he did an excellent job, they say, of keeping the cemetery in order and keeping it clean and chasing people away so that it always was clean and always was, chasing vandals away, et cetera, et cetera. But however, when he died, it said that the poetic justice of the scene, because he was so mean to the cats, is that he, in his spirit in the afterlife, he looks even more like a cat now because of what he treated these creatures, out of his rage for the way he looked. So he became even more cat-like. His spirit is even more cat-like. So he's not a cross between a cat and a man, so to speak, but he appears to be that way because of, I don't know, eternal justice for his actions against these poor creatures when he was alive. So he's said to have been buried in the cemetery itself, and that his spirit comes out at night to protect the cemetery. He's still guarding the cemetery because this is all he knew his entire life, and he's still doing it. So I'll show you a picture of what Long Cemetery looks like. And as you can see, it's kind of desolate. in an old these days. It's a bunch of family plots, so there isn't active burials going on there anymore. And it's not very big, but and this was taken obviously in the winter, so there's lots of leaves everywhere, etc. So it's more creepy in this picture than I would think it would be in the summer. But this is what it looks like. Now, the legend that goes along with this is interesting too, because it's said that um, if you go to the wall, there's an old crumbling wall on the side in the cemetery. One of the walls, the cemetery was walled around. One of it's crumbling. If you go to the one towards the back, that's crumbling, and you knock on it 3 times, that the Catman will appear. Number one, he'll appear, and number two, he will disable your car. I don't know how he does this, but your car will not start. So you're stranded there for a while. There's been many a teenager that went into the cemetery at night to drink, etc., and swears by the fact that the Catman appeared and scared them off. Vandals being scared off, etc. Now, originally he was buried in a mausoleum above ground, but there was so much around the legend that a lot of vandals came and did things to the mausoleum. So they demolished the mausoleum in 1994, and they buried him in the ground. But some people that were there at the time that the mausoleum was being brought down claim to have seen claw marks on the inside of the mausoleum, as if the Catman's claws were trying to get out of the mausoleum. So I don't know. That's what they say. I don't know. It's kind of creepy though. I don't know, what that really turns into. But the Catman of Long Cemetery in Frankfort, Delaware, is there still to this day, watching over and protecting his cemetery from all of the various people that might vandalize it, etc., etc. So, so that's it. That's the story of the Catman of Long Cemetery, a creepy nightly visitor to the cemetery that is there to chase you away before you do damage. So, in a way, he's doing a good job. All right, so there's your 4 stories from Delaware. Catman, Old Maggie's Bridge, Maggie Boxham of Old Maggie's Bridge, the Ghost Soldier of Chooch Bridge, and the Ghost Soldier of Cape, what do we call it? Henlopen, Cape Henlopen. So 4 ghostly areas in Delaware to check it out. So let me see here. What's going on in the chat before I go on to our next segment here? Bring me Al Mix, says Patrick. There are no lights up there? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know, Tony. Maybe there aren't. I don't know. There's no lights near me right now because I have no power. That's for sure. So let me just make sure I didn't miss anybody. Crazy. Welcome, Crazy. Good to see you. Crazy Purple. Great to see you. All right. What am I drinking tonight? Nothing, just water, just chilling. I'm not drinking anything interesting tonight. All right. What do we got here? All right. So now let's go on to the next part of the show, which I think is kind of interesting. Now, Mike F., many of you know Mike F., a fan of the show as well as others. He's in a lot of chats. He sent me a video that I want to share with you, and I want your opinion on it. This is a video that he had on his Ring door cam. Let me see if I can pull it up. I better be able to pull it up. Where is it? There we go. All right. Now I want you to watch this Ring video. I'm going to put it on full screen. I'm sorry. And I'm going to play it. Now I want you to watch to the upper left, as you're looking at it, the upper left-hand corner. You will see something come floating across, starting up on the left-hand corner, and it's going to go down to the middle of the screen. All right. Now take a look. I'm going to play it. Here we go. Now you see this? Look at this. You see that? Now it's going down, and it's directly here. Do you see this? Right here. Now I'll play it again. Hold on. Here we go again. Here it is. Floating across. It comes down, and it just sits right here in dead center. Now, this was taken at night, obviously, on his Ring door cam. I don't know what that is because it's not a reflection. A reflection doesn't move, right? I mean, unless it doesn't look like a particle or anything like that. To me, it looks like a perfect ghost orb. Here it comes again, going across. Then it goes down, right? And it lands right here, right dead center, right here. So very, very creepy. Very, very creepy. So what do you think, guys? What do you think about that? I think that's a legitimate orb. I think that is a legitimate spirit orb that was making the rounds outside his house. I have no idea. I mean, he lives in Oklahoma and he's in a desolate area. So I don't know. Yeah, I'm Tony. There's no cars in that area. There's no car. That's what you looked at. That is all open. That's an all open field because he lives in Oklahoma, and it's and there's nothing there. It's all an open field next to his house, like a huge, huge open field where there's actually cows that come up to his property line. Cattle come up to his property line. Hello, Edwin. Yeah, it stops and hangs out, right? Yeah, the Ring camera, right? It's recessed. You're right, Gerard. Yeah. Now it is raining during the picture. You really can't tell, but because from when I share the screen, you really can't tell as if you saw it yourself, like right on your laptop or on your computer. But it is raining at the time. But I don't think the rain has anything to do with it. It's just so weird. It floats along and then just stops like that. Bizarre. And I asked him if he knew of any history around his house. He said he didn't. But it was, it's not a new house. It's an old house that he purchased. So who knows? Who knows what it could be? Yeah, Tony. No, there's no lights around there. The only light is, you see it above. You see it above in the you see it up. This area up here is lit. That's the porch light. But everything else is just night vision camera, kind of night vision. And nothing more to it. I'll play it one more time. There it goes, going across, then swoops down and lands right here. Strange, just very, very strange. All right. All right, so I thought that was pretty cool, right? Right, Johnny, that's what it looks like. Floats down to the walkway. Yeah. Oh yeah, no, it's definitely not a raindrop, but I don't know. It doesn't look like a bug. It doesn't look like a floating particle. I don't know. It doesn't. It just looks like what people describe as a spirit orb. It's legit. I mean, I think this is legit. It's legit, and then it's unexplainable. You can't assign anything to it as to what it is. Yes, Gianni, that is. There's rain off of the walkway. Yes, the movement at the walkway. When I first saw it, I thought that was creepy. I thought, oh, what is that going on over there? But then I saw that it was rain. It was the raindrops, pounding off of the pavement, off of the bricks, where you see in the lower right hand corner there. That's all that is. That's just the rain hitting the water, the puddles. Hey, Cheech, how are you, my friend? Good to see you. So yeah, that's my my 4 stories and my real life video there that we should. And I like this idea of trying to incorporate a live video of some type where we can talk about it and see what we think. I'll try it. And if anybody has anything out there they want to send me, please do. Please email me them. I would love to see them and use them on the show. That would be awesome. Do me a favor, hit the like button if you can. And here's another thing that Stiggs has been doing, and I think it makes a lot of sense. After the show, come back and leave a comment if you liked it. See if that helps. The comments of the existing show, once it's posted, the ended show seems to be helping with the algorithm and pushing it out. So please do that if you can. Like it and leave a comment, even if it's just to say hi, or you liked it, or you didn't like it, or what have you. That'd be I'd love to see that. And if you get if you get a chance, look on my community tab. I shared a ghost story by Telly Savalas. Now, a couple of people have sent this to me, so it's a popular thing. And you listen to his ghost story of his encounter, his paranormal experience, and he's very believable. Doesn't sound like BS. Very believable story in the sense that he believes it. He definitely believes it. If you listen to it, you'll see that he believes it. And I think this was on a show that, I don't know how, maybe 30 years ago. I don't know. About celebrity ghost stories, I think is what it was called. But the clip was on YouTube. I found it and I put it on my community tab. So if you get a chance and you're interested, go there and look at it. It's pretty interesting story of what he encountered. Yes, Tony. Yep. He got a ride from a ghost. Yeah. 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 Yeah, that's basically the story. But yeah, check it out because I want you to just hear him tell it, because you could sense or feel that he really believes it without a doubt, that this is a real story that he encountered, or real something that he believes. It's not something that's made up or, for the sake of the show or anything like that. It's something that he really encountered, or at least experienced. He believed he encountered it. So interesting stuff as always from there. That type of angle, anything like that is very interesting to me, at least. Anyway, what do you think, Lenny? Yeah, so that's what's going on, guys. Oh, Patrick, you remember that show, Celebrity Ghost Stories? I don't remember it, but it does sound like it would be cool. It sounds like it'd be a cool show. I don't remember that actually myself, but it's pretty cool. Yes, Tony. Yep. So those are my stories for the night, guys. Like I said, this was going to be a shorter one anyway. We're almost at 45 minutes, but that's good. That's good for my show. I don't like to bore you with too much stuff. I want to get in and out. Boom, boom, boom. Done. Get it across. Talk to you a little bit, and then call it a day. Early 2000s. Yeah. Right. So maybe 25 years ago. 20 to 25 years ago. Yeah. Right. Yeah, I mean, if that one is on there, YouTube, I'm sure there's other clips of that show that are on YouTube. I haven't looked it up yet, but I will. And if I find any more, I'll share them If I find any more that I think are interesting, I'll share them too. But thank you, Baywatcher. Good to see you, my friend. 6 seasons. Wow. Woo. Wow. 6 seasons. How did I miss that? Wow. But some of the stories obviously were not live stories because Telly was been dead for years. So, I guess they showed it on that. They pulled that from some other interview or some other time because he had passed many years ago, Telly Savalas. So he was not around then at that time. I don't think he was. So, 1994. Yeah, that sounds right. That's probably when he yeah. Yep. Yeah, and I agree. He should do a little bit of research, see if he could find anything about that house. Something went on there. Something went on there. Excuse me. Well, Slim, I don't know. Slim, I know. See, you're in the chat. Are you going live? Usually do. If you are, everybody, please check him out next. Slim usually goes live at 10. So check him out. Spend some time with him. Him in Solitaire usually do a good show, good music show. So check him out. Oliver Sutton, how are you, my friend? I haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you. Thank you for checking in. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yes. Okay. 10 o'clock. Slim is going live at 10. If you're bored and you have nothing else to do, go check him out. It's fun. It's a fun time. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to wrap it up here. As always, I say thank you so much for being here. Build the guild. Click the like. All that fun stuff. Leave a comment after the show. It helps. We're growing great. We really are. We're getting a lot of subs lately. I'm up to 2,560, I think, today. So gaining a lot of subs. So thank you guys for being a part of that growth. So I really appreciate it. I enjoy bringing this to you. As long as you enjoy me bringing it to you, I'll keep doing it. Whether I have power or not, I'm here. So the storm didn't keep me away from doing the show. So I'm very happy with that. But as always, I say thank you for joining. Stay scared because it's fun to be scared. Our type of scared, not the real scare. Being scared of live people is the bad type of being scared. This is the cool type of being scared. So just enjoy it. And as always, I thank you for being here to support me. And I wish you the very best. God bless. Love you guys. And we'll do our ceremonial blowing out of the candles, which will end us for today. And I will see you next. Love that smoke. I will see you next week. If I can end this stream, here we go. Bye-bye.